In this video, we'll take you through each and every part that makes up the pump. We will give the part name and number and explain the function of the part. This will give you a better understanding of the pump and enable you to easily identify and communicate about any part.
We'll start off with outer parts of the pump before diving into the actual pump parts. These parts could be found in the second page of the exploded diagram. First, the cage, which protects the pump while transportation and provides easy handling of the pump. It has 4 cage shoes towards the front and towards the back. The bolt and the M8 washer and the M8 bolt, which holds the post onto the crossbar of the pump. The M8 dome nut holds the post to the top of the cage. The flywheel is placed on the taper portion of the main shaft, and it is held into position with the help of big flat washer, spring washer and a bolt. A flywheel cap is placed on the bolt to prevent it from getting corroded. The flywheel, through its weight and movement, stores the energy and provides the momentum which helps move the piston up, and the flywheel has a flywheel belt which provides the traction between the pulley and the flywheel to turn the flywheel round. Let's move to the post. So you can find the parts of the post on the third page of the exploded diagram. The post comes with a pre-fitted vertical stud at the top of the post, which goes onto the top of the cage. You will find at the midway of the post a horizontal stud which goes onto the crossbar of the cage. Near to the top of the post, you can find a motor bracket pin which is used for holding the motor bracket, and you can find a small dowel pin which is used for aligning the yoke guide on the protrusion of the post. The motor bracket is placed on a motor bracket pin and is secured with the help of 2 M10 washers on both the sides of the pin and 2 plain washer of size M8 and spring washer and M8 hex nut on both the sides of the motor bracket pin. The motor itself is placed on the motor bracket with the help of 2 M6 bolts. So there are slots provided for adjusting the motor such that the pulley gets properly aligned to the flywheel. The pulley has 2 steps. Smaller pulley is used for higher head and low radiation condition, and larger pulley is used for smaller heads. We will come to yoke and the main pump later on, but the main function of the dowel pin is to align the yoke guide into the proper position. We do not want the yoke to twist as it causes friction and potentially damage the piston, and the yoke guide is secured in the position with the help of the knob. Then we have the main shaft with 3 bearings and the spacer which goes inside the post, and there are 2 bearings on the camshaft. So the main shaft along with the bearings and the flywheel helps to convert the rotary motion of the flywheel into the translatory motion or up and down motion of the yoke, which is connected to the piston.
Now we can move to the actual pump unit itself. These parts can be found on the first page of the exploded diagram. First of all, we have the yoke, which we spoke about earlier. The bearings on the camshaft fit into the hollow side of the yoke and push the yoke up and down. You will find the SS yoke pads on the upper and lower portion of the yoke. The yoke is then connected to the yoke guide via the yoke guide pin. The yoke is connected to the piston rod assembly with the help of bracings, which then contain the valve, which is held in place with the piston valve ring and the piston. In the groove of the piston, you will find the piston V-seal. It provides sealing between the piston and the cylinder while it is moving up and down. Water is then only allowed to flow through the valves inside the cylinder. Above the cylinder, there is a black colored plastic part named the cylinder top cover with step ring to provide sealing between the cylinder top cover and the cylinder itself. The cylinder also has a piston rod V-seal in it that provides sealing between the top cylinder cover and the piston rod, while allowing the piston rod to move up and down. Water can leak out of the top cylinder depending on the head and speed of the pump. Below the cylinder, we find the bottom cylinder cover with step ring and the suction valve. On either side of the pump unit, we find an air vessel assembly. The air vessel assembly is made up out of 3 parts: the air chamber and O-ring, and the air vessel adapter. The air vessels stabilize the pulsating flow caused by the reciprocating piston pump. Finally, a tapered hose nipple on either side for connecting hose pipes to the pump.
For more details of size and material, please go through the exploded diagram.